I do a lot of stupid stuff. Setting myself a marathon 4 weeks after a Muay Thai fight is probably my worst idea yet. Oh, come on, baby. Running a marathon in 22 days. My leg and shin is fucked. This is mine. I don't know if you got that. Adding the pressures of making weight for the fight meant that I went on a bit of a binge. I ate lots of different food. I really pigged out and I put on quite a lot of weight and didn't really look after my body. Added into that, the fact that I booked a holiday, a lad's trip to Ibiza, in which copious amounts of alcohol was consumed, a serious amount of partying was done, and thus a lot of eating was done. It wasn't really my best idea. So, with 1 week out, I did my first training run.
I am on kilometre 26. Woo-wee!
With one training session done in the bright heat, the hottest weather that I think I've ever ran in, I made my way to Glasgow. Now, I was staying in Glasgow with some friends before heading over to Edinburgh for the race day. I was travelling to Edinburgh all by myself, but it was quite nice to spend some time in Glasgow with my friends. Luckily, I'm no amateur when it comes to sports nutrition, so I implemented some basic carb loading strategies, which was a lot of fun after not having to cut any weight. And thus, race day was here. I awoke from my air mattress in my mate's back spare bedroom and began the refuel strategy of refuel strategies. A nice little oats with jam, berries, Greek yogurt for a tiny bit of protein, electrolytes and a black coffee. It was an absolute breakfast of champions. And then peep the race fit, the vest, the Boohoo Man shorts and the hockers. Boy was dripping in heat, but the weather was not. It was raining. I had a quick banana and then I had some crumpets en route. But the Edinburgh rain was coming in hard. Obviously, I hadn't really prepared for this marathon in any way, but what I really hadn't planned for was rain, which was a bit silly considering I was running a marathon in Scotland, which is notorious for rain. And thus, I made it to the start line. A lot of people around me were really nervous, which I really wasn't. Probably because I hadn't prepared, and I'd run races before, but it is what it is. The first 10 kilometres or so of the race was actually some of the most fun running I'd ever done. There was a geezer singing karaoke on the roadside. There was an old granny handing out sausage butties. Lots of people cheering you on, giving you sweets to refuel. And look, there's me running. It was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the first 10 kilometres.
Ooh-wee.
The first half marathon was pretty easy for me. And at that point, the rain started to let off. It was kind of like just a nice pace. You didn't really push yourself too much, but then going into kilometre 30 is when the race really started to begin.
Hi Olivia, on kilometre 25, 2 hours, 15 minutes in. Wee.
About 35 kilometres in, I looked down and I noticed that I could potentially sub 4 this marathon if I bit down hard and I ran my life. And let me tell you, I was joking with my mates a couple days before that I could do a sub 4 marathon, and I wanted to prove them wrong. I bit down and sprinted the last bit. I absolutely blew my wig off coming into the last stretch. As you can see on these videos, I was absolutely gassed in the very last home straight. I ran about 22 kilometers an hour, which was ridiculous pace. I'll put the Strava on the screen, but then you can see as I'm coming into the end here, absolutely bewildered, put my hand up in sweet victory. So I answered the question, could I run a marathon at any time? The answer was yes, within a time of 3 hours, 57 minutes and 44 seconds on the chip. And then I treated myself. I had some Iron Brew 1901, a beautiful pizza and a pasta. I mean, I had just run a marathon, I had to get those carbs in, a little ice cream Kinder Bueno snack, and then the following morning treated myself to a full Scottish breakfast. Overall, a very successful run. I'm proud of this accomplishment. Side mission completed, marathon ran. Now it's time to get back to fighting, baby.